Well, more on our top story this hour. Arizona Governor Jan Brewer setting up a new showdown potentially with the administration, issuing an executive order over illegal immigrants who may be granted temporary legal status. Now, the governor is denying taxpayer-funded public benefits to young illegals, so they're preventing from getting driver's license, for example. These are illegal immigrants who can get temporary legal status and work permits under a new administration policy. Dan Stein is president of the Federation for American Immigration Reform, and Francisco Hernandez is an immigration attorney. Welcome to you both. So there's two issues here.
Hi.
You have the temporary legal status, and you also have this kind of push-pull between the state and the federal government. So first things first, Francisco, if someone has temporary legal status, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean they can vote? Does that mean that they serve on a jury? What does temporary legal status even mean?
Well, it's not even temporary legal status. They really don't have any status for anything, even to work, until they're given a permit. They certainly cannot vote, and they certainly cannot represent themselves as a citizen. So all it is we're not going to deport them until we figure out something to do with Congress, like passing the DREAM Act. Everybody's been waiting to happen. So it doesn't mean a whole lot.
So, Dan, then, what's the Jan Brewer saying, listen, I'm not going to give these people a driver's license, but if they're in the country and we're waiting to figure out where they're going to go and what they're going to do, then why not give them some identification?
Sure.
Well, you really got to give Governor Brewer some credit. She's a bold, decisive, and effective leader who's willing to draw a line in the sand and raise these important issues. The president keeps claiming that this so-called deferred action is not an amnesty, and if it's not legal status, obviously, what is it? And that, of course, will create years and years of litigation as ACLU-type groups litigate to get benefits to people in this kind of legal limbo.
No.
The reason why what the president did is illegal and unconstitutional is precisely this. Congress has never said the president has the power to do what he's doing. But states are apparently expected to cough up billions and billions of taxpayer dollars to provide one benefit after another to a group of people who are here illegally with a deferred action document.
So that's what the governor's saying, Francisco, is that part of the reason why she doesn't want to do this is that providing services from the state and using state funds and providing the driver's license is going to cost a lot of money. That's one of the reasons why she says she's not going to do it.
We weren't giving them a driver's license anyway. How tough a governor do you got to be to take away something you're not giving anyway? And everybody that gets a driver's license has to pay. But let me put it this way. When our police officers give these young men and women citations for driving without a license and driving without insurance, are we going to take their fine? Are we going to take their money? Of course we are, because it makes the state and the cities a lot of money. Guys, we're cutting off our nose to spite our face. All we have is people driving out there without insurance who get in accidents and can't pay for them because we won't give them a driver's license. It's silly.
So, Dan, what do you think about that?
Man, you got to calm down, Francisco. You sound agitated. Look, the big problem with this status is that it appears to be dependent on the president getting reelected. What is so pernicious here is he's using his executive authority to try to create an affirmative immigration benefit that depends upon him getting reelected to be continued after 2 years. That is a gross abuse of his power as an executive. It is a violation of the trust that exists between the executive and the states, that our immigration laws will be enforced effectively and responsibly. And one of the reasons why our Constitution gives Congress the right to make these decisions and not the executive is precisely because of the potential to manipulate for partisan gain and a program that will cost taxpayers billions and billions of dollars. The administration needs to stop this nonsense right now.
To Dan's point, Francisco, what about that, though? We obviously have tension between what the federal government would like a state like Arizona to do and what the Arizona governor is willing to do. So in between all of that, we have all sorts of people kind of caught in the middle, from illegal immigrants to folks that were born here and are citizens and don't really know which side they're on. So how do you navigate that? Because that tension exists, and it's obviously causing some problems with implementation.
The tension is there, and for different reasons, both sides want the same thing. Governor Brewer, or you remember the past immigration Arizona law, was to force the federal government to act. Everybody agrees that the DREAM Act is a good idea on both sides. We just don't have the guts to pass it. We have to address it at the federal level. President Obama didn't do anything that any of his predecessors didn't do before. And in fact, did you realize that we've done that to drug dealers and drug traffickers, give them deferred status so they'll cooperate with the government? It is legal what President Obama did. It's absolutely legal, but it doesn't grant legal status. It is not an amnesty. It doesn't allow them to receive any public benefits, but we still collect their taxes and we still collect their fines. So we're getting the upside of it, guys. And
so
we all
Dan,
agree that these kids did
quick final thought
nothing.
about that upside, Dan, because I gave Francisco the first word. I'll give you the last. I mean, what about the upside of as Francisco says, they're paying the taxes, so why not give them some of these benefits?
Well, first of all, they've now extended it to people 30 and under. It now includes middle school dropouts. Here's the problem. There's no potential limit to what the executive branch is doing. No articulable legal limit, no judicial review. Instead, we have to pay for a system that is lawless and out of control. It's partisan, it's politicized, and it's going to be, for the next 30 years, we're going to be dealing with the fallout of this nonsense. It's very irresponsible. Francisco, sorry, buddy.
Well, we'll see what happens, because this is what Governor Brewer says today. The new order, if you will, from the Department of Homeland Security started this week, so we'll see how this plays out over the next several weeks and months. Francisco and Dan, nice to have you both with us today. Look forward to having you back.